2 years ago, my best friend Marcus died in a hiking accident in the Cascades. We grew up together. We were like brothers. I never told my 9-year-old daughter, Olivia, many stories about him. I thought it would be too painful. But 3 months ago, Olivia started receiving handwritten letters in the mailbox. Letters addressed to her, in Marcus's handwriting. Letters that talk about things only Marcus and I knew. Secret jokes from when we were teenagers. The night we got lost in the woods. The promise we made to each other when we were 17. Last night, she showed me the newest letter. It said, "Tell your dad I'm sorry I broke our promise. And tell him the box is still under the floorboard in the old treehouse." My name is Ethan. I'm 42 years old. I work as a landscape architect in Portland, Oregon. 2 years ago, my best friend Marcus died while hiking in the Columbia River Gorge. He slipped on a wet rock and fell 30 feet. They found his body 3 days later. Marcus wasn't just my best friend. He was the brother I never had. We grew up together in the same neighborhood, got in trouble together, dreamed together. When my wife left me 5 years ago, Marcus was the one who helped me raise Olivia. He was her godfather. He was the one who taught her how to ride a bike and how to skip stones on the river. After he died, I tried to be strong for Olivia. I told her Uncle Marcus had gone to heaven to watch over us. I packed away most of his photos because looking at them hurt too much. I thought I was protecting her. But 3 months ago, something started happening that I couldn't explain. Olivia came home from school one afternoon holding a pale blue envelope. Her eyes were wide with excitement. "Daddy, look! This was in the mailbox for me. It's from Uncle Marcus." I froze. The envelope had her name written in Marcus's unmistakable handwriting. The same messy, slightly slanted script I had seen on birthday cards and notes for 25 years. Inside was a single sheet of paper and a small, smooth river stone. The letter read, "Dear Olivia, I know you must be surprised to hear from me. I'm sorry I left so suddenly. I miss our Saturday pancake mornings. Remember to tell your dad to stop working so much and take you to the river like I used to. Here's a stone from the place I'm watching over you from. Love, Uncle Marcus." Olivia was beaming. "See, Daddy, he's still here." I didn't sleep that night. The next letter arrived 4 days later. This one talked about a secret joke only Marcus and I knew, the time we stole a 6-pack of beer from my dad's fridge when we were 15 and got caught because I tripped over the dog. No one else in the world knew that story. The letters kept coming, every 7 to 10 days, always in his handwriting, always with small gifts. A pressed flower, a bottle cap from our favorite childhood soda, a tiny wooden carving of a bear that looked exactly like the one he made for Olivia when she was 4. I started to feel like I was losing my mind. I checked the mailbox security camera. Nothing unusual, just the mailman. I even had a friend who works in forensics look at the handwriting. He said it was a 98% match to Marcus's old samples. But Marcus was dead. I saw the photos from the rescue team. I went to his funeral. I watched them lower his casket. So who was writing these letters? Last night was the breaking point. Olivia came into my room at 11 p.m. holding the newest letter, her eyes shining with tears of joy. "Daddy, Uncle Marcus said he's proud of you for finally finishing the treehouse in the backyard. He said the box is still under the 3rd floorboard like we promised." I felt the blood drain from my face. The treehouse. Marcus and I built it together when we were 17, in the woods behind my parents' old house. We made a promise that if one of us ever died first, the other would leave something important in a box under the 3rd floorboard. I never told Olivia about that treehouse. She was too young when Marcus died, and the house was sold years ago. How could she possibly know? I hugged her tightly and, "Go back to bed, sweetheart. Daddy needs to check something." After she fell asleep, I drove out to the old property at 1 a.m. The new owners had kept the treehouse. I climbed up with a flashlight, heart pounding. I pried up the third floorboard. Inside was a small metal box covered in dust. Inside the box was a letter, in Marcus's handwriting, dated 2 weeks before he died, and a USB drive. The letter began, "Ethan, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone, and you finally found the box. There's something I never told you, something I should have told you 20 years ago. Watch the video on the drive, and please, take care of Olivia for me. She's going to need you more than you know. Your brother, Marcus." I sat there in the dark treehouse, flashlight shaking in my hand, feeling like the ground had opened up beneath me. Because I already knew what was on that USB drive. And it was going to change everything I thought I knew about my daughter, my best friend, and the life I had been living for the past 9 years. I sat frozen in the old treehouse, the metal box open on my lap, the flashlight beam trembling on the letter in Marcus's handwriting. The night air was cold, carrying the smell of pine and damp earth. Somewhere in the distance, an owl called, but all I could hear was the blood rushing in my ears. The letter was dated 2 weeks before Marcus died. His handwriting was slightly shakier than usual, as if he had been emotional when writing it. "Ethan, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone, and you finally found the box like we promised when we were stupid 17-year-olds. There's something I never had the courage to tell you while I was alive, something I've carried for 9 years. Olivia is my daughter, not biologically yours. 9 years ago, when you and Rachel were having those terrible fights and you moved out for 3 months, Anna and we made a mistake. A drunken, stupid, selfish mistake. Anna got pregnant. She was terrified to tell you. I was terrified too. So we agreed she would tell you the baby was yours. We both convinced ourselves it was better for everyone. I watched Olivia grow up, knowing she was mine, but never being able to call her my daughter. Every time she called me Uncle Marcus, it broke my heart a little more. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I was a coward. The USB drive contains a video I recorded a month ago. Watch it alone. And please, take care of our girl. She deserves to know the truth one day, but only when she's ready. I love you, brother. I always have. Marcus. I read the letter 3 times. Each time the words hit harder. Olivia wasn't mine. The little girl I had raised alone for the past 2 years. The girl who looked at me with those big, trusting eyes every night and said, "I love you, Daddy." She wasn't biologically mine. The pain was so sharp it felt physical. I sat there until the sky started to lighten, the letter crumpled in my fist. Memories flooded back in waves. The way Olivia smiled exactly like Marcus when she was excited. How she was always better at sports than I ever was. The night she was born. Marcus waiting anxiously in the hospital hallway, looking more nervous than me. All the times he insisted on buying her presents from Uncle Marcus. Everything made sense now. The guilt I sometimes saw in his eyes. The way he was always there for her, more than a normal godfather. I drove home in a daze as the sun rose. When I got back, Olivia was already awake, sitting at the kitchen table eating cereal.
"Daddy, you're home early. Did you find the treehouse?"
I forced a smile. "Yeah, sweetheart, I found it." Her eyes lit up.
"Did you find the box? Uncle Marcus said there was a box."
I nodded slowly. I did. She clapped her hands.
"What was inside?"
I looked at my daughter, Marcus's daughter, and felt my heart crack open. "Just an old letter," I said quietly. I'll tell you about it when you're older. That day, I called in sick to work again. I sat in my car in the school parking lot after dropping Olivia off and watched the video on the USB drive. Marcus was sitting in his living room, looking tired but determined. He spoke directly to the camera. "Ethan, if you're watching this, I'm gone, and you know the truth now."
I'm so sorry. I was scared. Anna was scared. We both loved you too much to hurt you, but we hurt you anyway. Olivia is the best thing that ever happened to me. She has your kindness and my stubbornness. Please don't hate her for my mistake. She deserves a father who loves her unconditionally, and you've been that father. I recorded this because I want her to know one day that she was loved by two fathers, one who raised her and one who watched over her from the shadows. Tell her I'm proud of her. Tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer. And Ethan, forgive me if you can. You were always the better man. I cried harder than I had since the day Anna died. That evening, when Olivia came home from school, she ran to me with another letter in her hand. Daddy, another one from Uncle Marcus.
This time the note was different. It was longer. Dear Olivia, I know your dad is scared right now. Tell him it's okay to be scared. Tell him I'm not angry at him for anything. And tell him the red box under my old bed has the letters I wrote to you every year on your birthday. He'll know what to do. I love you more than all the stars in the sky. Uncle Marcus. Olivia looked up at me, her eyes shining with innocent hope.
Daddy, can we go get the red box?
I swallowed the lump in my throat and nodded. Yes, baby. We'll go tomorrow. That night, after Olivia fell asleep, I sat on the edge of her bed and watched her breathe. She looked so much like Marcus when she smiled. How had I never seen it before? I whispered to the quiet room.
Marcus, you idiot. Why didn't you just tell me?
For the first time in 2 years, I felt like he was really listening. The next morning, Olivia was buzzing with excitement.
Can we go get the red box today, Daddy, please?
I looked at her, my little girl who wasn't biologically mine, yet she was still my entire world, and forced a gentle smile. Yes, sweetheart, after breakfast. We drove to Marcus's old apartment building. His sister had kept the place as a small memorial, paying the rent so his things wouldn't be thrown away. She gave me the key without asking too many questions when I told her I needed to pick up something for Olivia. The apartment smelled like dust and old books. Marcus's things were exactly as he left them. Hiking boots by the door, a half-finished model airplane on the coffee table, photos of him and Olivia on the fridge. Olivia ran straight to his bedroom like she knew where to go. Under the bed was a dusty red metal box, just like the letter said. She dragged it out, her eyes wide.
This is it. Uncle Marcus said there are letters inside.
I helped her open it. Inside were 23 envelopes, each labeled with a date and "For Olivia" in Marcus's handwriting. One for every birthday from her 1st to her 23rd. There were also small gifts, a tiny silver bracelet, a polished river stone, a children's book with a handwritten note inside the cover. Olivia picked up the letter for her 9th birthday and looked at me.
Can I read it now, Daddy?
My throat tightened. Of course, baby. She opened it carefully and read aloud in her sweet, clear voice. Dear Olivia, today you turn 9. I wish I could be there to see you blow out the candles. I bet you're getting so tall and smart. I want you to know that even though I'm not there, I'm always watching over you. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. Tell your dad I said thank you for being the best father in the world. He doesn't know how much he means to both of us. I love you more than all the stars in the sky. Happy birthday, my girl. Uncle Marcus. Olivia looked up at me, tears in her eyes. He really loved me, didn't he? I pulled her into my arms and held her tight, my own tears falling into her hair. Yes, sweetheart, he loved you very much. That night, after Olivia fell asleep clutching the letter, I sat in the living room with the red box and read every single letter Marcus had written for her future birthdays. Each one was more emotional than the last. In the letter for her 13th birthday, he wrote about how proud he was that she was growing up strong. In the one for her 18th, he told her to be kind to herself and to forgive people who make mistakes. In the final one, for her 23rd birthday, he wrote, Olivia, if you're reading this, it means I didn't get to see you grow up. I'm so sorry. There's something you need to know when you're old enough. Your dad, Ethan, is the best man I've ever known. He raised you as his own, even though you're actually my daughter. I was a coward. I never told him the truth. Please don't hate him for not knowing. And please don't hate me either. We both loved you more than anything. Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I'm grateful. Tell him he was always my brother. I broke down completely, sobbing into my hands like I hadn't done since the day Marcus died. All these years, I thought Olivia was mine. All these years, Marcus carried this secret alone. All these years, my best friend watched me raise his daughter and never said a word. The next morning, I made a decision. I sat Olivia down at the kitchen table after breakfast. Sweetheart, I need to tell you something important. She looked at me with those big, trusting eyes, Marcus's eyes. I told her the truth as gently as I could, that Uncle Marcus was actually her biological father, that her mom and Uncle Marcus made a mistake a long time ago, that I didn't know until now, that I loved her just the same, more than anything in the world. Olivia was quiet for a very long time. Then she asked softly, "Does that mean you're not my real daddy anymore?" My heart shattered. I knelt down in front of her and took her small hands in mine. No, baby, I will always be your daddy. Biology doesn't change that. I chose to be your father every single day since you were born, and I will keep choosing it for the rest of my life. She started crying and threw her arms around my neck. I love you, Daddy, even if Uncle Marcus is my other daddy too. We cried together for a long time. That night, for the first time in weeks, there were no new letters. But when I went to check on Olivia before bed, she was sitting on her bed talking quietly to the empty air. And Daddy said he still loves me. He said he'll always be my daddy. Are you happy, Uncle Marcus? She paused as if listening. Then she smiled softly. Okay, I'll tell him. Good night. She looked up at me standing in the doorway. Uncle Marcus said he's proud of you, Daddy, and he says thank you for taking care of me. I walked over, sat on the edge of her bed, and pulled her into my arms. In that moment, I realized something profound. Marcus hadn't just left letters. He had left me a final gift. The chance to love his daughter even more deeply, with full knowledge of the truth. And perhaps, in his own way, he had also given me permission to forgive him, and to forgive myself for not seeing what was right in front of me for 9 years. The road ahead wouldn't be easy. Olivia would have questions. I would have to learn how to be a father knowing the biological truth. The grief and the love would continue to intertwine in complicated ways. But for the first time since Marcus died, I didn't feel alone. Because in some strange, beautiful, painful way, he was still here with us, watching over the daughter we both loved. The weeks after I told Olivia the truth were some of the hardest and most beautiful of my life. She asked a lot of questions. Why didn't Uncle Marcus tell us? Does that mean you're not my real dad anymore? Will Mommy be mad if she knows? I answered every question as honestly as I could, even when it hurt. I told her that grown-ups sometimes make mistakes out of fear, that love isn't only about blood, that I chose to be her father every single day, and I would keep choosing it for the rest of my life. Some nights she cried herself to sleep in my arms. Some nights she was angry and didn't want to talk. Some nights she asked me to read Marcus's letters to her again and again. I let her feel everything. I didn't try to fix her pain. I just stayed beside her. As for me, I was drowning in guilt and grief. Every time I looked at Olivia, I saw Marcus. The way she tilted her head when she was thinking, the way she laughed with her whole body, the way she was fiercely loyal to the people she loved. How had I never noticed it before? I started going to the river where Marcus and I used to fish when we were teenagers. I would sit on the same rock we sat on 25 years ago and talk to him out loud. "You stupid bastard," I whispered one afternoon, tears running down my face. "You should have told me. We could have figured it out together. Instead, you left me to find out like this." The wind blew gently through the trees, and for a moment, I swore I heard his laugh. That deep, warm laugh I missed so much. One evening, about 2 months after finding the red box, Olivia came to me with a new drawing. It was a picture of 4 people holding hands under a big tree. Me, her, Marcus, and a woman who looked a bit like Anna. "Daddy," she said softly, "I drew this for you and Uncle Marcus, so he knows we still love him." I pulled her onto my lap and held her tight. "Thank you, sweetheart. It's beautiful." That night, after she fell asleep, I went up to the attic where I had stored most of Marcus's things. I sat among the boxes and spoke to him again. "I forgive you, Marcus. It hurts like hell, but I forgive you. You were scared. I understand that now, and I'm sorry I didn't see how much you were suffering. You were a good man. A terrible liar, but a good man." I paused, my voice cracking. "And thank you for giving me Olivia. She's the best part of both of us." As I said those words, a strange sense of peace settled over me. Not complete healing, but the beginning of it. The final letter from Marcus arrived a week later. It wasn't delivered by mail. It was simply lying on the kitchen counter one morning when I came down to make coffee. No envelope, just a single sheet of paper in his handwriting. "Ethan, if you're reading this, it means you've told Olivia the truth and you're both still standing. I'm so proud of you, brother. I know I don't have the right to ask for anything, but I'm going to ask anyway. Take care of our girl. Let her be angry. Let her be sad. Let her ask all the questions. And when she's ready, tell her I loved her from the moment I knew she existed. And tell yourself this: you were never just raising my daughter. You were raising our daughter. Thank you for being the father I couldn't be. I'll be watching over both of you, always. Your brother forever, Marcus." I folded the letter and pressed it against my chest, crying quietly so I wouldn't wake Olivia. That afternoon, Olivia and I went back to the river. We skipped stones like Marcus taught us. We talked about him, the good memories, the funny stories, even the mistakes. For the first time, we talked about him as her biological father, not just Uncle Marcus. As the sun began to set, Olivia looked up at me and said something I will never forget. "Daddy, even if Uncle Marcus is my other dad,
You're still my real daddy. Because you stayed. You didn't leave. That's what makes you my dad.
I knelt down and hugged her so tightly I was afraid I might break her. I love you, Olivia, more than anything in this world. She hugged me back and whispered,
I love you too, Daddy. And I think Uncle Marcus is happy now.
As we walked home hand in hand, the evening light painting the sky in soft oranges and pinks, I felt something I hadn't felt in a very long time. Peace. Not because the pain was gone, not because the lies had disappeared, but because love, real, messy, complicated love, had found a way to survive. Marcus was gone, but a part of him lived on in the daughter we both loved. And I was still here, still her father, still choosing her every single day. And that was enough.